Welcome back to the homestead, everybody. Today is a beautiful day out here in the Midwest. It's about, I don't know, 50 degrees. And we're gonna head over to the greenhouse, and I want to show you what I got going on over here. We actually picked up a new pup. Casey, this is Casey. Say hi, Casey. Casey is a mix between a Blue Heeler and a Great Pyrenees, and he is a awesome little pup so far. We got him as a livestock guardian dog, so we'll see how he does. We're training him right now to live in the animal yard over with the pigs and the chickens, and he's gonna help with our fox attacks and all of that stuff. So we're hoping that he turns out to be a great livestock guardian dog. But we picked him up like 2 weeks ago, and he's just a joy. His name is KC, like short for Kansas City, KC. Anyway, we like to name our animals after locations for some reason. We started it about a number of years ago when we got our pigs, and it just got some traction with us. So anyway, that's KC. So like I said, we have a surprise in the greenhouse over here. We did something a little bit crazy. Actually, we took the advice or the example of Justin Rhodes. If you don't know who that is, I'll leave the link in the description below to his channel. Obviously, one of the biggest homesteading YouTubers out there, and we love his channel, and we watch his stuff and get a lot of information. And as he learns stuff from Joel Soliton and Polyface Farms, we like to tag along and enact some of those principles ourselves here on this homestead. So we did something a little bit crazy, and here, let me just show you what we got going on here. Yes, we transferred our chickens from the hill, from our animal yard up there on the side of the property, and we are going to be keeping them in the greenhouse for the season. So we're going to overwinter our chickens in the greenhouse. And we had done a number of things already that Justin did in his video where he introduces moving his chickens into his greenhouse for the winter. We had done a number of things, and one of those things was we had already laid down a thick bedding of wood chips. And so Justin calls this a carbonaceous diaper. And so when the chickens poop inside of the wood chips, all of that carbon buildup helps to eat up that chicken poop and create a nice healthy soil underneath. So the concept basically is the chickens live in here for the winter. They get the benefits of, it's probably, like I said, it's 50 degrees outside right now, but it's probably about 70 in here. Let's actually check the thermometer over here. Yeah, so 50 degrees outside and just over 70 degrees in here. So they get the benefit of not having a harsh winter. Out here in the Midwest, we do get, compared to other places, we get a decently harsh winter out here. The chickens don't really mind it. They do well with the fluctuating temperatures and the snow and stuff like that, but it's just a little reprieve for them. And then we get the benefit of them pooping into the soil, them scratching and mixing up all of that good mulch decomposition that's going on. And so it's a perfect example of permaculture at work. They get a benefit of being inside of here, and we get a benefit of them being inside of here. Not to mention there's added protection with the greenhouse environment away from predators and stuff like that. So one thing that we haven't done that he did was he put up chicken wire around all the edges and into the soil. We have yet to do that. We are going to take some precautions and do some fencing around the greenhouse that's going to help with protecting the chickens. And then as Casey grows up, he will live in here probably a portion of the winter. We just don't want him in here right now because he's a pup and he's learning, and he tends to destroy stuff really fast. So we don't want him in here at this point, and he's been stressing out the chickens a bit, so we don't want them to get stressed out and then their egg production to go down. One other cool benefit was, you remember when I put this shade cloth in? Well, the shade cloth gives them a reprieve from the sun. If it gets too hot in here, like I think in 2 days, 3 days from now, it's gonna be 60, 70 degrees. Obviously, I'll lower the sidewalls like I've been doing, just cracking the sidewalls open to get some breeze through here, but also they get to sit in the shade instead of being in that direct sunlight, which is not good for them. The other cool thing we did was we took the nesting boxes that were on the animal yard and we just attached them to the raised bed that we had where we grew tomatoes here in the summer. So they get to use these nesting boxes. And then later what we're gonna do is we're gonna have some roost bars come up over top of the raised bed so that they can roost here, and then we get all that good poop dropping down into the raised bed. And then the last thing I'm going to do in here is I'm actually going to make a kind of like a portable A-frame roost bar setup that has a number of different roost bars on it, but you can move around the greenhouse so that they can kind of get used to it. I can move it around and get them to poop in different areas of the greenhouse that I want, instead of them roosting all over my firewood back here, which is what they're doing right now, as well as they roost on this stainless steel sink over here. So that's not very helpful. I want them to be able to have a good roosting location, but also it benefit us in a way where we're kind of spreading out that manure all around the greenhouse. So obviously, if we're doing that, all of this work, that means we're going to be growing in here in the spring, which that's our plan. That's why we laid down the mulch. That's why we're trying to get the soil ready. Just like in Justin's video, he talks about leveling his greenhouse soil. We did that as well. We leveled the soil in here, which means we cut down all of that beautiful topsoil off the inside of this greenhouse, which means we got to restore some of that stuff. So that's what we're doing in the greenhouse this winter. If you have a greenhouse, or if you have even just a smaller green, it doesn't have to be this big. Try this method out. We're impressed with it so far. The chickens seem to like the environment. They feel safe. They're not as loud as they normally are in the animal yard in the day. And so I think they're liking it. They get a different foraging environment. It's not the same. They don't get all of that grass. But honestly, at the height of the winter, the animal yard grass kind of just dies out anyway, so they get dead grass. So, and here they get to scratch, find that biota in the soil and all of that good nutrients in the soil. They get to find that stuff. So anyway, we're super impressed so far. The chickens have been in here for about, I don't know, about 5 days, something like that. So at the end of the season, we'll check back in. At the end of the season, I'll do kind of an update video on this whole process, the pros and cons of overwintering your chickens in the greenhouse. But I wanted to show you guys what we're doing. We're excited about this method and all of the many possibilities of what you can do when you overwinter your chickens in the greenhouse. One thing I forgot to show you was this is their feeding trough. I just took a piece of plastic guttering that I was going to use for the side of the greenhouse, but we didn't end up doing it, and I secured it to the base wall here on the greenhouse, down here and down here. I really need to do one in the center here too. And I just dump the feed in there and they go to town, and that's where they eat. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to give you a quick update with what we're doing with the chickens in the greenhouse. And if you have a greenhouse, try this method out. Let us know how it goes for you and what your experience is of it. But we absolutely loved the idea when we saw Justin introduce it. We had already actually had the idea pop in our heads, and then he releases the video about how he's going to be overwintering his chickens in the greenhouse, and we're like, man, we got to do this. We got to try it out. So if you have a greenhouse, try it out. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next video.